Did you know that the British Museum, one of the world's most visited museums, was established by an Act of Parliament in 1753? Quite a remarkable beginning for a cultural giant, wouldn't you say? This grand institution was born out of the combined collections of three men, all passionate about preserving the artifacts and knowledge of our world. The first, Sir Hans Sloane, was an eminent physician and naturalist, whose collection spanned over 70,000 items ranging from dried plants to Egyptian antiquities. His desire to preserve these treasures for the nation led to him bequeathing his collection to King George II. The second pillar of the museum's foundation was Robert Harley, the first Earl of Oxford. A formidable statesman, he was also an avid collector of books, manuscripts, and coins. His collection, known as the Harleian Collection, is one of the cornerstones of the British Library today. The third was Sir Robert Cotton, a scholar and statesman whose collection of manuscripts is still regarded as one of the most significant in the world. His library, the Cottonian Library, was the first public library in England. These three collections, each unique and invaluable, were originally housed in Montague House, a 17th-century mansion located on Great Russell Street. This grand edifice, with its wide lawns and stately rooms, became the first home of the British Museum. In 1759, the doors of Montague House were opened to the public, making it the first national public museum in the world. From its inception, the British Museum was a place of learning and discovery. People from all walks of life could come and marvel at the wonders of the world, from ancient Egyptian statues to Greek vases, from medieval manuscripts to exotic plants. And so, in a house on Great Russell Street, the British Museum began its journey of becoming a global center for the understanding of human history and culture. This was just the beginning of a journey that would see the museum grow, evolve, and face controversies. But that's a story for another time. As the collections grew, so did the need for a larger, more fitting home. This led to the construction of the present British Museum building, a testament to the grandeur and ambition of the era. It was designed in the Greek Revival style by Sir Robert Smirke, who orchestrated a structure that would house history and culture from around the globe. The construction process spanned almost 3 decades, from 1823 to 1852. This period was marked by meticulous planning and tireless work, as the new building rose on the site of the original Montague House. Each stone, each column, was a step towards creating a home worthy of the treasures it would hold. But the construction didn't stop there. Over the years, the museum has seen multiple additions and alterations, each enhancing its ability to preserve and present history. This constant evolution mirrors the dynamic nature of history itself, constantly unfolding and revealing new layers. One of the most significant additions was the famous round reading room, built in the 1850s. Beneath its copper dome, scholars from all walks of life found a sanctuary. Figures like Karl Marx, Virginia Woolf, Peter Kropotkin, and Thomas Carlyle labored here, their work contributing to the intellectual legacy of the museum. This room was more than a space for reading. It was a crucible of ideas, where knowledge was not just consumed but created. The British Museum's new home was not just a larger space, it was an architectural marvel, a symbol of cultural preservation, and a beacon for knowledge seekers worldwide. It was a testament to the human desire to understand our past, to trace our stories back through the ages, and to learn from the wisdom of our ancestors. With its new home, the British Museum was ready to take its place on the world stage. It was set to become a cultural giant, a repository of human history, and a testament to our collective journey through time. The British Museum was not just about preserving the past, but also about evolving with the times. As the centuries rolled on, the museum's mission expanded and its collections grew, necessitating significant transformations in its structure and functions. One such pivotal change occurred in 1881. The original natural history collections, which had been part of the British Museum since its inception, were transferred to a new home in South Kensington. This marked the birth of the Natural History Museum, a separate entity dedicated to the exploration and understanding of the natural world. This shift allowed the British Museum to focus more intently on its cultural and historical collections, while the Natural History Museum could concentrate on its own unique sphere of interest. Another major evolution transpired in 1973. The British Museum's library, an impressive collection of manuscripts and other literary materials, was joined by an Act of Parliament with several other holdings. The result was the creation of the British Library, a separate institution dedicated solely to literature and the written word. This move further streamlined the operations of the British Museum, allowing it to hone its focus on its historical and cultural collections. The final piece of this evolutionary puzzle came in 1997. Until then, about half of the National Library's holdings were housed within the British Museum. But in that year, a new library building was inaugurated at St. Pancras. This move enabled the British Library to consolidate its collections, while the British Museum gained additional space for its own exhibitions and collections. Through these changes, the British Museum continued to grow and adapt, ensuring its relevance and appeal to each new generation. By constantly evolving, the museum has managed to stay at the forefront of cultural and historical exploration, continuing to inspire and educate millions of visitors from around the world. However, the history of the British Museum is not without its share of controversy and criticism. A significant source of this criticism lies in the museum's acquisition of a great many of its items during the colonial era. Many of these historical artifacts, originating from all corners of the globe, were not freely given, but taken under the auspices of colonial control. The controversial Elgin marbles from Greece, the Benin bronzes from Nigeria, and the Rosetta Stone from Egypt are just a few examples among thousands that stir debate. Critics argue that these artifacts should be returned to their places of origin, to the cultures and nations from which they were taken. They contend that these objects hold immense cultural and historical significance, and their display in a foreign museum, far removed from their original context, is a continuation of colonial appropriation. The museum, however, maintains that these objects are part of world heritage and should be accessible to everyone. They argue that the museum provides a safe and secure environment for these items, and that their display allows millions of visitors each year to learn about cultures they might otherwise never encounter. Yet, the debate over these acquisitions is not simply about the objects themselves, but about the historical context in which they were collected. In many cases, this involved force, coercion, and exploitation. It's a history that is intertwined with the broader narrative of colonialism and empire. And it's a history that the museum has been criticized for not adequately addressing in its displays and interpretations. In recent years, the museum has made efforts to address these criticisms. It has sought to provide more context about how certain items were acquired, and it has entered into dialogue with source communities and nations about issues of repatriation. Yet these efforts have not silenced the voices calling for change. These controversies serve as a reminder of the complex and often uncomfortable history that comes with a collection as vast and diverse as that of the British Museum. Despite these controversies, the British Museum remains a significant cultural institution with a far-reaching influence. It stands as a testament to our collective human journey, a treasure trove of our shared history and culture. Its vast collections, ranging from Greek sculptures to North American art, serve as a window into diverse civilizations that have shaped the world we live in today. But the museum's influence extends beyond its walls. For centuries, it has been a source of inspiration and knowledge for scholars and researchers. Under the copper dome of its renowned reading room, luminaries like Karl Marx, Virginia Woolf, and Peter Kropotkin have labored, their work significantly influenced by the wealth of information available to them. The museum also plays a pivotal role in educating the public, fostering an understanding and appreciation for history, culture, and the arts. Its numerous free exhibitions and educational programs attract millions of visitors each year, making it one of the most visited museums in the world. Yet the British Museum is more than just a tourist attraction. It's a place where the past meets the present, where stories of human triumph, creativity, and resilience are told. It challenges us to reflect on our history, the good and the bad, and encourages us to engage in important discussions about cultural ownership and representation. In a world where history is often forgotten or overlooked, the British Museum serves as a reminder of our shared human experience. Its collections tell a story that spans thousands of years and encompasses a myriad of cultures, a story that continues to evolve as new discoveries are made and our understanding of the past deepens. From its humble beginnings in Montague House to its present location on Great Russell Street, the British Museum continues to inspire, educate, and provoke thought, remaining a testament to our collective human history.